Have you ever trusted someone so much that you ignored the warning signs, only to be betrayed in the end? This is the story of a lonely fisherman, a tiger cub, and a truth about life we all need to remember. Stay with me, because what happens here will change the way you see trust, instincts, and your own strength. Once upon a time, in a small village by the sea, there lived a fisherman named Mr. John. Every day, he joined the other villagers on fishing trips, catching enough fish to feed himself and selling the rest to earn his living. But despite his work, John carried a heavy burden: loneliness. He lived alone with no family, no companion, and no one to share his days with. One afternoon, while walking the forest path to a neighboring village to sell his fish, he came across a strange sight. A man sat by the roadside with a tiger cub. Curious, John asked, "Why are you sitting here with a tiger cub?" The man, looking exhausted, replied, "I have no money, and my family hasn't eaten in 2 days. If you give me your fish, you can take the cub. I can't care for it anymore." John hesitated. A tiger? Dangerous, risky, but then his heart softened. Maybe this cub can bring me joy, he thought. And so, moved by compassion, he traded his fish for the cub and carried it home. When the villagers saw him, they were shocked. "What will you do with a tiger cub?" they asked. John smiled. "I'll raise it, tame it, and it will be my companion." Some admired his courage, others warned, "A tiger will always be wild, be careful." But John reassured them, "Don't worry, I'll train it well." He built a strong cage on his veranda, fed the cub fish every day, and slowly the emptiness in his life began to fade. The cub grew, and so did John's attachment. He even took it for walks. Some villagers clapped at his bravery, others kept their distance in fear. Years passed, and the cub became a majestic tiger. John was proud. He believed he had tamed the untamable. One day, he traveled again to the neighboring village. He sold his fish quickly, drank coffee, and prepared to return. But tragedy struck. A massive landslide blocked the mountain road. Despite every effort, the road couldn't be cleared for 5 whole days. When John finally returned home, he rushed to see his tiger. Inside the cage, the beast sat weak and starving. It hadn't eaten since John left. Overcome with love, John opened the cage and walked toward it. But hunger had awakened something primal. In one tragic instant, the tiger attacked. The instincts John thought he had tamed could no longer be suppressed. And that's when the truth became clear. No matter how much love you give, some things cannot be changed. A tiger will always remain a tiger. Life gives us the same warning. Some people, no matter how much kindness you show them, will eventually reveal their true nature. They might smile, they might hide it for a while, but when pressure comes, the truth always surfaces. So here's the lesson. Love deeply, but with wisdom. Be kind, but with boundaries. Don't waste your life trying to tame what was never meant to be tamed. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. And above all, be yourself. Because your true nature, unlike the tiger's, is your greatest strength. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And remember, winners aren't people who tame others. Winners are people who master themselves. Winners are people who master themselves. The truth became clear that day by the sea. John learned what we all must learn. Some natures cannot be changed, no matter how much love we pour into them. A wolf remains a wolf. A snake remains a snake. And some people, despite our best efforts, will always revert to their true nature. You've seen it before. The friend who only calls when they need something. the partner who promises change but never delivers, the family member who takes and takes but never gives back. You kept believing they would change. You kept feeding the tiger. But when life storms came, their true nature emerged. This is why wisdom matters more than kindness alone. Boundaries aren't walls to keep love out. They're gates to keep your peace in. You can love someone and still protect yourself from their nature. Real love doesn't ask you to sacrifice your safety for someone else's comfort. Your greatest power isn't in changing others. It's in knowing yourself so well that you can't be fooled by false promises. It's in trusting your instincts when something feels wrong. It's in choosing your peace over their potential. Because when you master yourself, you become unstoppable. So stop trying to tame tigers. Start building the life you deserve. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your growth. Choose relationships that add to your life, not subtract from it. And remember, the right people won't need to be tamed. They'll choose to grow alongside you. If this story opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the world needs more people who choose wisdom over wishful thinking. Winners don't tame others. Winners master themselves. And that mastery, that's your greatest strength.